discussing a whole couple of things in this video, making 2026 the best year for ambitious people. So we're gonna dive into the discussion uh, without no hesitation. First of all, let's look back at 2025. How did 2025 go for us? I remember clearly by this time 2025, and I remember clearly setting my goals, and I was like, 2025 is my year. I said it clearly. I was like, there is nothing that will keep me from succeeding in 2025. That is exactly what I said. But to my surprise, 2025 also ended also almost the same way I started it. Just that some couple of little things changed. Maybe I made some money, I found clarity, and all the rest of them. But honestly speaking, 2025 didn't go the way I planned it. Nah, 2025 wasn't the best year for me. Even though I planned it to be the best for me, even though I hoped it should be the best year for me, it wasn't the best year for me. And honestly speaking, I was so disappointed. And yeah, I was so disappointed in myself. So I was kind of, how do I make 2026 my best year? Because I found out that making 2026 my best year, we're not even all about setting goals again. It's not even all about setting plans. Because I set plans in 2025, I set goals. Yet, it wasn't as profitable as I think it's gonna be. So when I was contemplating, doing some certain things, I asked myself before I even set goal for 2026, before I even try as much as I can to make 2026 a very profitable year, what can I do, or what did I do in 2025 that made this not to produce the result I wanted? I hope you are following. I was asking myself, what did I do in 2025 that made it not to produce the kind of results I wanted? It is a lot of wait, guys. Just a jiffy, guys. All right, good. And so this is the same question I expect most of us to ask ourselves in these 2026, because I know that a lot of us at this moment have also set our New Year resolutions. Have also, been like a lot of us now, like 2025 will be our year. 2025 is the year that you are going to make progress. A lot of people, you are not the only one. But at the same time, those same people that set 2026 goals to make it a very profitable year are not different from people that set 2025 goals, and not different from people that say that 2025 will be a profitable year. They are not different from them. So before I was able to set my 2026 goal, I asked myself, why didn't I get the result I was looking for in 2025? Why wasn't 2025 prosperous as I thought it gonna be? I said this thing in my live video in 2025. Why I asked you that you should do a review about your 2025 and ask yourself, why didn't I get the result I'm looking for this year? Do a review about your life. Do a thorough review, and then ask yourself, why didn't I get the result I'm looking for in 2025, and how can I correct it in 2026? It's very, very, very important, guys. So while I was doing this review, I was doing the review, tried a couple of things to find out why 2025 wasn't as successful as I think it's gonna be, even though I didn't achieve, my goals. I found out that the main reason was, one, I didn't. The only reason is that I didn't stick to my decisions. I didn't do the stuff I said I'm gonna be doing. I hope you're following. I didn't do the stuff I said that I'm gonna be doing. That is one of the major reasons I didn't succeed in 2025. I didn't do the stuff I said that I'm gonna be doing. And I believe that this is also one of the major reasons a lot of us are failing in our goals. Sorry guys. A lot of us say that this year we're gonna be consistent. A lot of us say this year I'm going to create content. This year I'm going to start copywriting. This year I'm going to do YouTube television. This year I'm going to do different things. But at the end of the day, we found out that we end up not doing the stuff that we say that we're gonna be doing. And that is the major reason for our downfall. That is the major reason for our downfall. So for me to actually succeed in 2026, I have to make it, or I have to do the stuff I said that I'm gonna be doing. For instance, now I have created my list. Oh, where did I write them? Good, they are here with me. I have created my list. Okay, I'm gonna be doing Codiem. I'm gonna be spending 1 hour on LinkedIn. I'm gonna be spending 2 hours every day creating content. I'm gonna be, reading the Bible. I'm gonna be improving my offers. I'm gonna be learning other things I can't mention here. These things are things that I believe will take me closer to my goals in 2025. Now I have said it. Now the next thing is for me to stick to what I said. The next thing is for me to stick to what I said, no matter the circumstances that repels me from doing those things. I hope you are following. No matter the circumstances that repels me from doing those things, I have to stick to what I have to do. So this is not a matter of motivation. This is not a new thing. You and I know that discipline is far more better than motivation. Discipline goes a very long way, and at the same time doing the boring work. I've also understand that sometimes for us to be successful, we have to do the boring work for a very long period of time. You have to do the boring work for a very long period of time for us to be successful. Doing the boring work is where we get results. Doing the boring work is where we see results in outer day. Doing the boring work is where we build empires. It's where you build personal brand. There is nothing that gives result today that is not boring. Just that when you are doing those boring work, you do it with love, you do it with passion. Look at how boring it is. Waking up every day, creating content every day for 90 days, for 1 year. Waking up every day, doing one thing, creating content. Waking up every day, doing one thing, doing Codiems. Waking up every day, doing one thing, doing YouTube automation. Replying to comments, replying to message, doing one thing for 1 year, 365 days. It's boring, my dear. It's not that easy. And that is why it controls results. Because the moment you have accepted to do this boring work for a very long period of time, that is when you start seeing results over your dream. And not tell me that you can't do this boring work, because a lot of you are 9 to 5 focused. You're already doing the boring work already. A lot of us now for the past 5 years, 10 years, we have been working in the same company, doing the same role for 1 year, for 10 years, 3 years. So a lot of us are already doing the boring work, just that the boring work we are doing in some circumstances doesn't bring the result that we desire. Now, when I say that you have to do the boring work, it doesn't mean that any boring work you do brings results. For instance, if you are a hawker, let me say you sell lakasera on the streets, or you sell bread, anything on the street. Those things are boring work. You get the point. But no matter how long you say you walk on the street, you never see a significant result. So I understand that for me to succeed in 2026, I must embrace the boring work. I must be willing to do the work I never wanted to do. You get the point. I must be willing to embrace the boring work in the right field, though. So you not now you go and be saying that, and you might have said that you should do the boring work, and you go and be doing what doesn't bring results. No, that is not what I'm saying. You should be able to do what brings results. You get the point now. You should be able to do what brings results. Do the boring work for an extended period of time. Let me say, if you're a copywriter, you all know that copywriting is a great skill. So if you wake up every day writing copies, it's a boring work, but it brings results. If you're into social marketing, it's a boring work. Content creation, it's a boring work. But long run, these things are very big leverage that you can use to make a living for yourself. And then another thing that I really want to mention that will may help us make 2026 a great year that I failed to do in 2025 is working harder in ourselves more than we do in our job. About June, July 2025, I worked in an oil and gas company, in one of the companies in our oil and gas company as a kitchen assistant. Guys, do you know that while I was working in this company, everybody was like, wow, Emmanuel is a very hardworking guy. Wow, Emmanuel is a very hardworking guy. I was working so hard, trying to make other people's business grow. But when I started working my own personal business, when I started working my own personal stuff, I see myself not working very hard. I see myself not doing the stuff that I said that I'm gonna be doing. Have you seen it right now? So for it to, or for me to succeed in 2026, I must be willing to also give that same energy that I gave in my 9 to 5 work and use it to grow my own business. I must be willing to work harder on myself rather than I do in my previous job. And that is the only way we see results. That is the only way. And then another way to make 2026 very successful is to cut off bad friends. You see, bad friends, this one contributed to 80% of my failure in 2025. And here's the thing: when you cut out bad friends from your life, don't owe them any explanation. They may tell you have changed. You have changed drastically. Don't come and start explaining to them. I changed because of you. Owe them no explanation of changing. Just change. Cut them off. If they ask why are you changing, just tell them you owe them no explanation. Just cut them off. You owe them no explanation. You get the point? You owe them no explanation. Just cut them off. There is some of my friends, after I was doing a recap, I found out that most of my friends I had in 2025 are worse than poison to my life. And here's one thing that is very bad about bad friends. You won't even know that these people are influencing your life negatively. You won't even know. But when you look back, 5 months, 6 months, you'll be like, oh my heavenly goodness. These people have destroyed my life in such a way I could never imagine. The bad thoughts, the discouragement. At the ending of 2025, I told one of my friends in his face, I told him without hiding it, I told him, bro, the only thing I have received from you is bad advice and discouragement. And I'm not lying. I'm not lying about it. The only thing I have received from me, I'm saying this thing I'm saying it very bitterly from my heart. Deception. deception, trying to deceive you. They are worse than evil. They are worse than evil. Bad advice. That is the only thing they give you. They truly want you to fail because they are afraid that when you take the action, the risk that they avoid, you'll be higher than them. So in order for you to prevent you from taking that action, all they can do is give you the bad advice and discouragement. I know a lot of discourage. Thank God, God helped me to succeed. A lot of discouragement they gave me in this my online business. Bro, stop creating content. Nobody's watching your video. Your camera is not that good. A lot of bad advice. I don't even know how I oh God. God Almighty, if you can do me a grace for me to pack out of this neighborhood, if God Almighty can give me the grace for me to make more money and live out of this area, it will be one of my greatest achievements in 2026. One of my greatest achievements. This boy worse than ever. Worse than ever. Bad friends. A lot of you don't know how I feel in my heart because of this. Well, we continue, shall we continue? That is some of the lessons in our life. That's some of the lessons we learn. We continue, nevertheless. I'm not really talking about is it takes a lot of work to make something great. It takes a lot of work to make something great. You have to have this at the back of your mind. It takes a lot of work to make something great. You want to be a content creator, it takes a lot of work. Be a video editor, it takes a lot of work. You want to be a copywriter in sales and marketing, affiliate marketing, digital automation, it takes a lot of work to make something great. And if you are willing, until you work 1,000 times in a single product or in a single project, you won't even understand the amount of work it takes to make something great. And then the last one before I end this video is in Philippians. It says, I can do all things through God that strengthens me. That is my motivation for 2026. I know I can do all things through God that strengthens me. I know it beyond the shadow of death that I can do all things through God that strengthens me. I know it. I know it. And by God's grace, I'm going to succeed in 2026 through God that strengthens me. Alright guys, good luck to everyone. And I'm looking forward for us to make 2025 one of our best years. 2026 one of our best years. See you again in 2026. In 2026, by the grace of God, we'll be alive. I will be here again to make this live video to look at how far we have gone. Congratulations in advance, guys.